So we're going to talk about the tent in different sections. There's the back room and the front room. The other sections we're going to talk about are the outer covering here and then the inner. First step is spread the large tarpaulin out. Peg the tarp down through the little metal rings at the bottom. Take the green rods and put them together so it makes one continuous straight rod. Yep. Take the green poles and thread them through the green sleeves. What you'll do is you'll take the green poles and you actually put them in these pins here. The end goes in the pin, and then that will go diagonally across and there'll be another pin on the other side. So these green poles sort of crisscross. And then it sort of goes across here and arcs to one sort of on the opposite end. Yeah, sure. So what you want is the jade poles that go from corner of the square to corner of the square. So they're going diagonal across, diagonal across. And now we're going to do some different jade poles. So you should have 4 sets of jade poles in. 2 sets go diagonal to diagonal corners. And then the other 2 sets, they sort of arc around the front and back. So you can see the points here. That's a diagonal, that's an arc over there, and then at the end there's another diagonal. So this is sort of the inner part of the tent, the first stage when it's constructed. You can then hook the inner covering to the green poles. Next you take the second room and lay it on the tarpaulin. Then you put the outer covering on, as so. Word of advice to this tent, line up this back section first, maybe secure part of the outer down and then do the front section. Because if you don't do it that way, you'll start pulling the tarp in various directions. You might get your front section looking okay, but then the back section will be out of alignment, and once you've pegged in the front section with the guy ropes, the tent pegs, then you can't move the back section to get it right. So line this part up first. Next you put the yellow, or the black pole with the yellow dot through the yellow sleeves. And then the hollow end of the pole goes into this pin here. Black pole with yellow dot and the yellow rod inserted into it. Notice the yellow lined sleeves. Black pole with grey dot. So here we see the grey flexible rod going into the black pole with a grey dot in the grey sleeve. So here's one of the black poles with a coloured dot for the front room, and you can see here there's a pin that goes inside, and then on that pin is also a ring that you can stake in. Here we've just got one of the sand pegs. We also suggest that you pin down the metal rings for the black rods before putting the black rods in, so get the foundational base pinned down and taut, and then you can put the poles in. So you can see here there's the black poles, well, you can't really, but in here then there's the actual grey and yellow spaces, and then it goes down to the black poles to the ground. And now what we're going to do is with this inner, this other room, is we're going to start clipping it to these little tags here. So you can see the black poles here, they come up to here, and then there's a more flexible pole that goes across the top to the other black pole. And each black pole has a dot on it to indicate which sleeve it goes in. So this one has a yellow dot somewhere on it, there it is. And here is the yellow part of the sleeve. So you want to secure the outer down the bottom, the outer skin or outer covering with pegs. Also put guy ropes in. So what you'll notice about the inner front room here is you actually put the outer covering up first with the black poles, so it's sort of like this shell, and then you grab the inner covering and sort of attach it from the inside like this. So the inner covering is sort of attached to the roof of the outer one. So here you've got some of these attachments here, sort of, there are a little black bar that goes through the loop. The other part that you have here is these plastic bits that are on the elastic, and what they do is they sort of zip up. I'll show you. So what you do is you actually get that plastic bit and you push it up here onto this loop here, and that attaches this part of the inner to the outer covering. So on the inside what you have here is this is sort of the back room. This is the actual part that you put up first with the green jade poles going diagonal to diagonal and sort of curving around the front, and then you actually have the front room here, which is the one where you actually put the outer covering up first on the black poles, and then you attach the inner covering to the roof through all these loops.
We can park our car just around the corner.
Yep. Okay, so that's the front there, which actually you kind of put up last, and here's the back with the crisscross poles. We haven't put all the guy ropes in, but we put some of them. We didn't think all of them were necessary, and likewise down the bottom we didn't think we needed to put a tent peg in every single loop. It's a bit windy here, but it's not terribly windy. So the chrome plated spacer bar goes into the front room. It slips to this black sleeve right at the front, and then going to the rear of the front room there is another black sleeve there, which it also slots into. So this is the chrome plated spacer bar, which has a rubber stopper at each end. And there's the front. Black poles on these two sections, and in the back using these crisscross jade poles. Now the tent also comes with these steel poles, so you can make a pergola. So you use the metal poles with the pins at top to put the pergola up, and then you secure poles with the guy ropes, and you'll have your pergola. We've concluded that the metal pegs are used for all the black rings and loop fastenings. The yellow pegs go through the guy ropes and also the yellow loops. So here's the tent completed. Once you've practiced it, it'll take about an hour to put up. Some further tips: make sure that you secure the bottom tarp well before putting the rest up. Note that you know which one is the front of the tarp because it's sort of wedged in like this. That's the shape of the tarp, and then you can line that up with the front room inner. Remember as well that the yellow pegs go in the yellow loops, and for the guy ropes, where the metal pegs go in the black fastenings. Again, there's some guy ropes that we decided not to put up, not really necessary. And I'll go inside as well. So you can seal that up there. You can see, yeah.